Hey everybody, Scott here at Brock Up Brewing, here for the beer of the week. Something a little different on beer of the week this week. We have a guest brewer. Sam Corr is here. Sam had DCR Brewing, Drumconrath Brewing in Fargo, well originally in Mapleton and then in Fargo. Unfortunately, Drumconrath is no longer with us. DCR Brewing is no longer around. But today Sam is around and we're brewing a beer together.
Yeah, we're going to be...
What beer are we brewing, Sam?
We are brewing Ribbon Man Red, which was our flagship at DCR. It is a very dark Irish red with a pretty strong malt backbone. Not intense hoppiness. And then it's brewed with honey, and combining that with the darker malts, it gives it a very dark fruit aroma. It's kind of sweet, but not overly sweet. It's just a very pleasant beer to drink.
That's how I remember it. So when Nikki and I were first talking about starting a brewery, deciding if we wanted to take this on, if we actually wanted to do this, we went around to pretty much every brewery within a easy drive of here, because that's a terrible thing to have to do, to drive around to breweries. But we talked to brewers, we talked to owners. You hear people's backstories firsthand, get their opinions on the industry and how to go about doing things and how to not go about doing things. Sam was honestly one of the first guys that we talked to. We wandered into his place one night. It was a slow evening in there, and we made an awkward introduction, and we've been friends ever since. But Sam was a lot of help to us in the early days. Our brewing system was his original brewing system in the brewery in Mapleton. When he upgraded to a larger system, we bought this from him. Oh yeah, we have some of Sam's glassware here. So if you occasionally see the logo, this is who it belongs to.
So I started brewing I don't even know how long ago now. Almost 20 years ago. My mom bought me a Mr. Beer system for Christmas one year.
So Mr. Beer is
all done for you.
It's the beginner level first step homebrew kit where everything comes in one box, including the container that it's brewed and fermented in, and it's all right there, and it's as good as you could expect it to be as such.
Yeah,
I skipped that step myself.
The beer is technically done for you. It's syruped. The whole beer is done. You just add water. It'll say add 5 quarts of water or whatever, and then you just mix it up and bring it to a short boil, and then you pour it. You cool it off, and you pour it in this plastic beer barrel. Screw the lid on, or add some yeast, screw the lid on, and let it sit on your counter for 2 weeks. And I made the first batch, and it was terrible. So the original recipe, I do remember what it was. It was called Cowboy Lager, and they gave you these corn sugar granules that you were supposed to add, and they gave you a pound, and you were supposed to measure them out for however many ounces or whatever, or tablespoons per whatever the batch is. And I'm like, this just increases the ABV. Well, we're just going to put the whole thing in. So it was really boozy and tasted just like garbage.
Did you drink it?
No, actually, I had one. I drank one, and then they gave you bottles. So they gave you 1 liter bottles, and I think you got 8. You could get 8 of these bottles out of the batch, out of the kit, and it was, it was. Woo. And I decided that if I was going to do this, I could do it better on my own, and I just started making stuff. And Ribbon Man was what became Ribbon Man, was one of the first beers that I made, and instead of always making something different, I really wanted to stick to 2 or 3 different beers and just keep improving. And Ribbon Man was the the fruit of that labor. And I made that pretty regularly, and almost 20 years later, we're brewing up another batch.
So, Ribbon Man, when you started brewing what became Ribbon Man, did you have a beer in mind that you were trying to approximate? Was it just a style? What was your target? What were you shooting for?
I was just trying to make an Irish red, and I was literally just working off of the BJCP, the Beer Judge Certification Program guidelines for the style. And trying to make it exactly what that style is supposed to be. It's probably a little sweeter than it's supposed to be. It's definitely darker. I just kept pushing it until it was what I wanted it to be. So it's probably not going to win any awards technically because it doesn't follow the guidelines as close as it's supposed to, but it tastes exactly the way it's supposed to, and that's amazing.
So the beer scene in North Dakota, in your experience, then till now, what have you seen? What do you think?
I think North Dakota is in a unique situation because a lot of the country, and I'm sure it's happening here, the beer market is contracting. Everyone's facing that. There are breweries that are closing. The one in Hallock, that's not North Dakota technically, but it's right across the river. And hopefully no other ones close, but that we are at the same time kind of shielded because a lot of the breweries that North Dakota has are like Brockup, rural breweries, and rural places are to a degree shielded from some of that stuff because your market is directed locally and the local market doesn't necessarily change. So I think on the whole, North Dakota is a pretty good place to come for beer.
I'd have to agree. I know. So we opened right before COVID, and what ended up happening here isn't exactly what our business plan had been, at least what we were hoping for. It just has to do with, taproom traffic and that sort of thing. I hear from other bar owners here in town also. It really changed the bar scene, having everything shut down for, really an extended period of time. People's habits changed. So we've had to do things a little bit differently than how we originally wanted to. I've talked to a couple other brewers who have gone through the same kind of thing. There's a couple of breweries in Fargo that closed up during that time that the COVID shutdown and what happened immediately after were at least a factor, if not the actual cause, depending on who you asked from the brewery what was the actual cause. Anyway, like Sam said though, us here in Valley City it's a small town market. We're a little ways out of the larger population center, so we are a little shielded from it here. We've got our own little bubble here that we operate in. We've got great clientele, and it's a good place to be.
NA has really spiked, which is I really like that NA is picking up. Good NA is more expensive than its alcohol counterpart, but sometimes you want to drink some beers and you don't want to get a buzz, and or you're in a situation where you can't, you technically can't be drinking alcohol. And I think that opens, and there's obviously a lot of people that don't drink, and it just opens up beer to all those people and all those situations in a way that we've never had before because the NA options were so terrible. That's kind of
terrible is a good word for a lot of it historically.
Yeah.
We try to keep a few in the cooler here at the brewery as an option for people. And it's anytime I bring in something new, I always try it first because I don't want to sell it to people if it's no good. I think that's all we've got for this week, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I want to thank Sam for coming out and brewing with me, for being here. Again, the beer that we're brewing is Ribbon Man. We will have that on tap. Look for it in hopefully 2 weeks. Coming up this Wednesday, trivia. Every Wednesday we do trivia at 7 o'clock. 6 rounds of trivia, 10 questions for each category. It's a lot of fun. We're also doing a year-long competition with trivia. And I was just going to say the name of it, but
It's the Rock 52-week Trivia-astical Big Fat Smarty Pants Trivia Jam Bash. There will be no actual deaths during this trivia contest.
if you just want to come and play trivia and you don't want to take part in the year-long competition, that's fine. You can just come in and have fun with us. If you do want to take part in the competition, let us know. We'll get you signed up, and you can check out how you're doing in the standings we have posted online. Thursday night is pizza night. Every Thursday we do a pizza special. 1 Johnny B's frozen pizza, 2 pints of beer for $20. It's good pizza, good beer, good company, good times, good price. Come on out on Thursday, we'll feed you. Other than that, we got on Friday the 25th, we are again going to be at the Dazed in the Maze at the fairgrounds in Fargo. Their corn maze / straw bale maze. Dazed in the Maze is an event that they do there that's 21 and over for that evening. We'll be there from 5 till 10 p.m. It's a, party in a cornfield. You probably haven't done that since high school, right? So if you're going to be in Fargo, if you're looking for something to do that night, come on out and see us. We'll be there. So I'm Scott.
I'm Sam.
And this has been the Beer of the Week.